For more than 60 years, the U.S. Small Business Administration has celebrated National Small Business Week, which acknowledges the critical contributions of America's entrepreneurs and small business owners. This year, National Small Business Week takes place April 28th through May 4th. During this week, the SBA officially recognizes the hard work, ingenuity, and dedication of the small business community, including their contributions to the U.S. economy. Today, Bootstrap Biz Advice is proud to host a roundtable discussion about growing a thriving business online. And this conversation is sponsored by Enji, making marketing more manageable for your small business. To learn more about Enji, visit www.enji.co. Hello and welcome to the National Small Business Week Roundtable. I am LaShonda Brown. I am a YouTube coach, a tech educator, and a speaker based in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. So this channel is called Bootstrap Biz Advice, and it's my place where I teach service providers how to increase traffic to their offers, generate passive income, and partner with brands. So my word for the year was actually community. And so I am always looking for ways to engage the community and get them involved with conversations that are relevant to what's going on in small business. So today we're going to focus specifically on how to grow a thriving business online. And I have brought in some friends to help me with that conversation, so I know you guys are really going to enjoy it. So first things first, to do a little bit of housekeeping, I want you to go ahead and like this video if you like it. What that's going to do is help push it out in the YouTube algorithm to get it in front of more people. And so you can do that easily if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching over on LinkedIn, you can hop on over to YouTube later to do that. You can also engage with us live in the comments. And so when we get to that section of the live stream, we can actually pop your comments up on screen and address them. So I encourage you, as people are sharing their founder story, that you go ahead, drop it in the comments so that we can engage with you. Now, I have some exciting news, and I have a new friend to come on stage and share that exciting news on behalf of our sponsor. So give me just a moment and we'll hop into those details. Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. How are you, LaShonda?
Good morning to you too. Taylor, what time is it where you are?
It is 7:02 a.m. Pacific time.
That's love. That's real love.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I have not a stitch of makeup on my face today, but that's fine. That's what the glasses are for.
It's all good. You look beautiful. Well, there is a very special milestone coming up for you, and I want to give you the stage to share about that with our friends.
Thank you so much, LaShonda. Well, okay. Have you ever wished that doing your marketing could be a little more clear, a lot more organized, and a heck of a lot easier? Well, if you are a small business owner, my guess is an all caps, bold, italicized yes. Now, my name is Taylor, and I'm one of the founders of Enji. But before founding a tech startup, I was a small business marketing consultant and worked with hundreds of small business owners just like you. And there were two things that they said to me time and time again. The first was, I hate marketing. And the second was, Taylor, just tell me what to do. So I built Enji, which is marketing software for small business owners who have to do their own marketing, but aren't marketing experts. And it's a place for you to plan, organize, and do your marketing in a way that feels like you have a marketing consultant in your back pocket. Because when you just want someone to tell you what it is you need to do, you can create a marketing strategy in minutes and get a calendar that has the tasks that you need to do in order to make progress toward your goals. And when you're having a hard time being consistent, that calendar will remind you of what you need to do at the cadence that you've set. And it actually also gives you an AI copywriter and social media scheduler so you can work ahead. And when you really need to know what part of your marketing is working so that you can do more of that, our metrics dashboard makes it super easy to track your numbers. And like LaShonda mentioned, we are so excited to be celebrating our first business birthday on May 8th. So all month long, we have brought back our launch promotion. So you can start your 14-day free trial using LaShonda's link, and then you can get access to all of our online marketing tools for just $19 a month for your first 12 months when you subscribe by May 31st. I am so thankful to have this opportunity to support you, beyond thankful to have LaShonda as a partner, and I cannot wait to listen to what I know is going to be a fantastic conversation today.
So, friends, you guys know I'm always looking for ways to save y'all some coins. So, if you are even remotely interested in getting your marketing act together, what you gonna need to do is go on over to lashondabrown.com/Enji. There's actually already some content on the channel that's like a general overview as to what this application can do. And that's going to help you with a deep dive. And so I would encourage you, if you want to learn more, do the free trial. Now, I know we are all busy, but what's really nice about the software tools that give you access to a free trial is you're able to just get a look and feel for what it would be like before you spend, your hard-earned money. And so there are various tools that I personally vet before I even tell y'all about them. So this is already on my list. Now I'll talk to Taylor after this about whether or not I can use the discount code for my account because, save some money. But I'm going to be using it, and I will tell you what is so helpful about Enji. I know there's so many different features, but just to be able to send your visual branding to the people that you partner with, this happens to me all the time, whether I'm being a part of a virtual conference or it's a sponsor or a podcast. They want to know my headshot. They want my colors. They want my logo. And you can literally just send one link and they get all that information in one place. So that's just one example of how you can save time with this tool. So I am so grateful that you are here, Taylor, and that you have sponsored conversations like this, because I think roundtable discussions give people that feel of being at a conference without having to get on a plane and travel. And so that's the vibe we're going for. So thank you so much for being here, my friend. So what I'm going to do now is to start introducing you all to our panel of experts. And our very first expert is going to be Molly. So let's get that music going and bring Molly to the stage. Hello, my friend.
Hello. How are you?
I love everyone's reaction after the music because it just makes you feel like, and we're here and we're back.
So
I think
good.
we all need this little soundtrack just in our pocket as we enter rooms, we would enter with a little bit more confidence. So Molly, I first and foremost, I freaking adore you. You already know this. Molly is another person who understands the value of having a thriving life online and a thriving life offline. Okay. The whole work-life balance thing is attainable, but you have to put systems in place. And so I just love watching you work. So I'm like, okay, we're giving soft now. Okay. We're giving color. We're giving farm. There's sheep. There's a little bird with one leg. I love it. I love it. And so I'm not going to ruin your founder story for the people. But I just want you to know that it's just, I just love that we are so aligned in our values. And so I want to give you an opportunity to kind of give people the short story of how you got to where you are before we hop into our panel discussions.
Awesome. Thank you, LaShonda. And I have to say to you, you are like one of the biggest small business cheerleaders I know. And I always feel so much love and encouragement from you all the time. So thank you. for having me here. I'm Molly, and I do live on a farm in Maryland. I have 4 girls, and my husband. We live here, and a little flock of sheep. And I am a business coach and an Instagram strategist and a speaker and the founder of what I call the soft business movement. I've been in the online space for about 20 years. I started way back when blogging was just becoming a thing, and that kind of opened doors to other things like freelance writing and photography. But in 2017, I've always had a heart for local small business, and I was working at the corporate level as a social media strategist, but my heart has always been there, and I've always felt this tug at my heart for something more than that. So I started my own business in 2017, primarily working with female farmers, actually, but over the years that sort of funnel has expanded a little bit. And 2 years ago, I was coaching a client, and she said to me, she said, your approach is really soft. Like the way you coach and the way I see you online, it's very soft. And I thought that is a good word. And at the time, I had really been putting in some thought about, what is it that makes a business successful, and why aren't all businesses successful? We are all worthy of having a successful business. And so all of the work that I had been doing, it just seemed like this was finally that word soft really put a word around how I'd always felt. I love the power of building our businesses online. I love the power of social media and how much that offers and opens up to us. But at the same time, I love my offline life and I value it. And I love creativity and being fully unplugged. Like I have always said that I've felt like the most old-fashioned social media strategist because I just felt different. Like I felt the tug of both things. And so I really teach and coach women in a way that values both their business and the success of their business, and that they have this beautiful offline life. So the soft business movement was sort of birthed and formed. And it has been what I've been sharing. And I feel like it really resonates with so many women. We're really kind of over the hustle, and we're over sort of the glorifying of hard and busy. And we want something different. And so that is really what I'm here to say is possible, and to help women figure out what that means and what that looks like in their business.
I love that. And I think, again, over the hustle.
Yeah.
If you needed a permission slip to stop hustling, here you go.
Exactly.
So I think you're going to hear that's a consistent thread through all of the founder stories. But up next, I would like to bring up Jasmine. I love that you are already vibing.
I'm like that person who's on hold and you like the music so much when the person comes on, you're like, can you put me back on hold? I was jamming. Yes.
It's like I liked it there. That was nice. So Jasmine and I call ourselves internet cousins. We have not met in person yet, but we're already family. We're already family. And I have been absolutely loving following you, especially on LinkedIn. I feel like you got that LinkedIn life down. I'm trying to get my act together. So I would love for you, because you have been on quite the journey as well, to share kind of the short picture of what your small business journey has looked like since you've been embracing the online life.
Oh my goodness. Well, LaShonda, first off, thank you so much. I've been following you for a minute too, and I'm just so grateful that you have me here. So thank you. I like to call my little journey the career train, in the sense that I've been on and off track for a long time. Fast forward from wanting to be a mermaid to wanting to be an astronaut to wanting to be a writer, and then joining the military and coming out and realizing that I wanted to do something that was helping people, but also creative. And so initially that meant starting my online business as a jewelry designer, even though I'm not very designer
friendly. Well, anyway, so I did that, and I realized in that process that it really required for me to work with other people. That's where I felt that I was doing the best work, is when I had a team. And so literally a jewelry business morphed into a media production company, and I was doing an online magazine, and somehow weaving that idea of wanting to be a writer back into my life, but then also with a team of other writers. The magazine is called Modern Hippie Mag, about sustainability and being more eco-friendly. But then also I realized that, in the wave of social media coming on board, Twitter was coming on board, Facebook was coming on board, and I had to learn those systems in order to make them work for my business and also for my partners. And so I was like, well, if I'm doing this, I think other people want to do this too. And so in teaching and learning and teaching that really opened up a lot of doors for me, a lot of opportunities, and recognizing that it really makes more sense to create not in a silo, but with other people. And so in the course of going from media production and having a magazine and then helping people with their content strategies via social media, I just realized how much I loved storytelling, because that's what content marketing is strategic storytelling. And so when I'm working with someone and they have that aha, like, oh my God, what? I can be like authentic online and still make money and still be in business. And so that really is what led me to wanting to create an online community specifically for women who are looking to find their voice and have more confidence online, so that they're sharing their story, but also being authentic and showing up in a way that feels good for them. And so that's how Boss Squad came about. I figured that I was putting all of my years of content marketing and digital marketing and content strategy into a place where women could connect with one another and be supportive of one another, but then also have the benefit of all the many resources that I've created over the years. And so that's what we've been doing. And it's been a very, very wonderful and interesting experience. We're celebrating our 6 months of being online, but 3 months of really coming out here and wanting to support one another. So I wouldn't have met you if I wasn't in a community for women. So I just know the power of community and how it can bring people together and be very beneficial for your business.
Well, and you will start to see too with online communities that the online communities will sometimes overlap, that there will be members who kind of like hang out in multiple camps. And so it's kind of cool to see members kind of introduce us to each other, because like we both have Paula in common. So Paula, you watching, girl, we love you. But it's just so cool to see that, in real life, obviously, we're always introducing friends to other friends, but that vibe can still happen online as well. And it's really cool to see, community leaders and community members supporting each other. So I'm really excited that you're here to talk about the copywriting side of things and the community side of things. So we have one more panelist to introduce you all to, and that is Kate. Welcome to the live stream, Kate. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. This is like my favorite thing to do to start off the morning, is like talking to amazing women. So this is perfect.
Well, and I think it's so fun because like you guys can't see this, but I can see it in StreamYard. So you have the public view of what you're saying, but then I can see all of our feeds at the bottom. And it's so nice to see faces. The amount of times I get on here and your girl is trying to keep her energy up, but she's talking to herself. It is so nice to have other people here. So thank you so much, Kate. You and I met, I'm trying to think, our mutual contact probably was Jess, maybe? Or I'm
I
trying
think
to
it was
think how
Jess.
I think it was Jess. So, again, everyone's introducing everybody to everyone. But I love that you are a data girly and a systems girly through and through. So I know you are going to bring that to the table for this conversation. But I would love to hear more about your founder story.
I love hearing that I'm a data and a systems girly, because my founder story basically illuminates how people can have a total transformation and journey. Because when I started my first business now, like 13 years ago, which feels crazy to say, I was not that at all. I was completely naive to what it took to really run a business. I was kind of fresh out of college and was like, how hard could it be? And, the irony of it was that we had a ton of external success. I had a career coaching platform that I co-hosted with another founder, and the outside of it was doing really well, getting features, getting recognition, getting clients, customers, people to attend live events. But on the inside, it was a total dumpster fire, like in need of systems in the worst way. So after about 2.5, 3 years of running that business, I really just took a pause internally and was like, I have to figure out how to do this. So my co-founder kind of ran the show, and I really figured out what foundation does a business need to be able to run a business and have a life outside of it. Because I think so many of us start our business with the idea that we'll have all this flexibility and freedom, and then so quickly it can cannibalize all of that freedom and flexibility. And we realize we're actually working more than we ever were doing anything else, or working a different job. So I took that time to really look at some other business owners that I admired and see what kind of systems and strategy they had in place. Then once I implemented that into my first business, we saw just insane growth while also having an incredible amount of flexibility in that business. So I ended up exiting that business because I was so passionate about helping folks do this. Because at that time, I was getting just as many questions about careers and career coaching and finding a great job as I was about running a business and how to do that successfully and strategically. And I felt like I had the tools to be able to give folks to say, like, these are the things you can have in place to be able to run that business really effectively. So now I've been doing that for 6 years, and I am so lucky to work with hundreds of women all over the country to help them build the foundation for their businesses to help it run really successfully. So I know what it's like to have a hot mess dumpster fire back into the business and to transition to having it work a little bit better for you. So I'm excited for us to have this conversation today so we can kind of help folks get to that point where they're able to run their businesses really effectively and efficiently.
I love that the phrase hot mess dumpster fire is one that just stretches long and wide. I'm like, I say that. I love that you say that because we all know what that feels like, right?
1,000%.
We're like, sis, we could do better than that.
Yep.
One day. And so I will tell you, one thing that we as entrepreneurs have to give ourselves grace for is no one is asking you to be an expert in all areas. And so what you are going to see in the questions that I'm going to prompt the roundtable with today is that we are all experts in our own right. And so at some point, I guarantee we're all going to lean on each other to be like, girl, what you using for this? Girl, how you managing your community when this happens? That is what small business is actually about. The small business owners that are working in isolation are the ones that don't make it, because it really does take a village to run a business. Okay. And so I don't want you to look at us, at face value and go, wow, aspirational. Like they're knocking it out the park, because girl, there are days we do not feel that way. But it's so good to have your biz besties, whether they're in person or online, to vent to. But what I like to say is it's okay to, fall down. Just don't make snow angels. Don't draw attention to yourself. Because at the end of the day, like, we are all doing our best. And so as long as you don't draw attention to those missteps, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know, as the reel says, So what we're going to do at this point is I have my own questions because I had some things I wanted to ask these ladies. So we're going to start with my questions, and I would encourage you, as they are answering theirs, if you have more questions about the things that are within their zone of genius, go ahead and drop them in the comments. We're going to start with my questions and then hop over to the comments after that. Okay. So we are going to bring back up Jasmine, and we are going to bring back up Molly, and we are going to get started with Molly's question. Molly's question is, Instagram is constantly changing these days, and it can feel exhausting to try to keep up. What is the best way for busy business owners to manage the ever-changing landscape of the gram?
It's so true. And I think that's one of the things I feel like I'm always sort of trying to come into with the voice of reason, I hope, because I think Instagram and a lot of the people who are Instagram strategists and specialists, they can stir up a lot of stress and anxiety for people. And so I really think one of the biggest mind shifts for me about Instagram that helps me just sort of ride the waves and just be totally calm about it is that I am there for my community. And if it's 95 people or 95,000 people, like, I will still show up. And so it doesn't mean that I ignore strategy and don't pay attention, but it does mean that it allows me to keep a perspective on all of the things and all of the noise about how discouraging Instagram can be. And so for me, I just think about, like, those people are my people and I will show up for them no matter what. And I will figure out a way and I will be there. Like, I always tell this analogy, like, our Instagram followers are like, it's as if we've had a party and our followers are all the people who have come to our party, who are standing in our kitchen and have showed up. And if we are always worried about that next follower and worried about bringing all the people in, it's essentially like us standing on the front of our house, like looking for other people to come to our party, to invite to our party, when all of our followers are standing there like, hello, we're here. We want, we're here for you. So to me, I really try to keep that perspective in mind, that those are the people that have shown up for me. I'm going to show up for them and serve them. And they're my people. That really helps me keep perspective when things get discouraging or frustrating, which happens almost daily sometimes with Instagram. So that has really been the mindset shift that's really made a big difference for me.
I love that. And I should probably stop saying I hate Instagram because I really don't hate it. But it does, like, I think when it comes to online strategy, it's so tough sometimes to like stay on top of it. And so I think, Molly, what I love that you bring to the table is that you give us a way to do Instagram that other experts aren't saying. You don't push people to do the rat race. You don't push people to constantly. I love your trending Tuesdays because you're like, ma'am, if you don't want a dancer point, this is for you. And when I tell you the amount of people that are like, yes, thank you. So I think you just give us license to like use the platform to grow your business, but don't let the platform use you. So thank you so much for that perspective because it's super needed. So my next question is for Jasmine. And I have felt this way since all those AI copywriting tools came out. I'm like, how do the copywriters feel about this? So with all the copywriting tools flooding the market right now, what advice do you have for business owners who don't know when they should write versus when they should leverage AI?
Well, I love this question. I have to be perfectly honest with you that initially when these AI platforms and systems and services popped up, I was trying to be a purist and say, please don't, because AI will never, at least not anytime soon, have the piece, the humanity piece that we have when we're sharing stories and when we're sharing about our business, right? And so initially I was like, don't do that. Just really write your stuff and work with a professional copy editor who understands your brand, who understands your motivations, who understands your purpose to help you finesse your words. But you know what? The truth is we have been using AI for a really long time. It's called autocorrect. Okay. So I've sort of changed my tune in the sense of AI is a tool, just like any other tool that we have in our arsenal, right? But it doesn't run the show. It should not run the show. So can and should someone use AI as a resource and as a launch pad or as a spell check or as an idea generator? Sure. But should AI be doing the writing for you? No. It's like, Molly's example of I've invited you to my home. I've invited you to my party, and you get there and the person coming to the door is like, hi, welcome no, right? That just doesn't make sense. So the same sort of concept, I take that into writing and content marketing is be yourself, show up, right? Your people want to know you. They don't need perfect prose, but they do need authentic prose. And I think that really can only come from you. So yes, use AI as a tool, as a resource, as an idea generator. But when it comes to writing content that really represents you and your business, write it yourself, right? And we're not looking for perfection, especially now, because that is what separates us from machines. I'm sorry, there's really no other way to say that.
So I will say this, I have noticed that some people, especially with my emails, they're like, "Oh, you legit write like you talk." And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. I don't have time to be pretending to be somebody else." And so what happens is they interact with me in person, they see me at a conference and they're like, "You're the same." And I'm like, do you understand the value of me being able to give you a sneak peek into what I'm actually like before you swipe that credit card? Like, that's huge. And so when it comes to AI, like, yes, we can leverage AI to do things faster and maybe more efficiently, but especially when it comes to your brand voice, like the power of you owning your voice is huge. And so we shouldn't just outsource that to machines. We have got to differentiate ourselves, especially when you've got multiple people in the same industry. I'm not going to talk about tech like the tech bros. Like, it's not going to happen. And so that's part of why, especially with my imagery, like I am always somewhere by some creek and some foliage. We're giving color, we're giving layers, we're giving bedazzle, because that's who I am. That's really what I'm like. And so if I had, suited up copy and you met me and I'm barefoot with a, floral print on, it'd be like, there's a little disconnect. And so computers don't get that nuance. And so I would just encourage you all, like, there are some great tools out there, but we shouldn't be leaning on the tools to do the work for us in every area. The tool should be assisting us to do what we need to do. And there's a difference.
Amen.
Um,
Amen.
so especially with the tools, okay, girl, people want to be free. They want time freedom. But typically it comes down to eliminating, delegating, or automating. So I'm still a tech girl. So what are some tools that you think people need if time freedom is important to them?
Such a good question. And I have arguably the most annoying answer, which is it depends. I work with so many different types of business owners, and they all have unique goals, unique challenges, which means they're going to have unique tools. So the actual tool for all of my clients is so different. We don't have loyalty to any one platform because we really, want to do what's best for our client. But there are certain categories of tools that I think almost every business owner needs. So I always say there's three kind of systems that I see across the board. Every business owner that I talk to that's in a service-based business needs, and that's a sales system, a service system, and a general operations system. So a sales system that kind of as an umbrella is, marketing, sales, networking, kind of all of those pieces. And again, for every business that looks different. Some folks sell from stage, some people sell via newsletter, some people sell via social media, some people sell like at trade shows. And so for everyone, that's going to look a little bit different, but there are tons of great marketing platforms out there. But what I encourage you to do is think about the specific tasks that you're doing and you're doing repeatedly. So what are those recurring tasks? And then what platform helps take the guesswork out of that? Like you heard about Enji before we started this, like that platform could be a great one for you. And it depends on what your business goals are when you're looking at these platforms and what you're doing consistently or what you want to be doing consistently and you aren't doing yet. That will really inform what tool is best for you there. From a service perspective, there are lots of great CRMs or customer relationship management platforms. Some of you have probably heard about Dubsado and Honeybook, HubSpot. There's lots of different ones, but again, it is so dependent on what tools you actually need and what actions you're actually looking to complete. So are you looking to send invoices, send contracts, have a client portal, have a task management system within that CRM? There are so many different tools. I was even on a call with Honeybook yesterday, giving them some feedback on some of their tools because they're always seeing how business owners' needs are evolving. So again, think about all the things you do to service your clients from inquiry to exit. In each of those tasks, think, is there a platform that can do all of these or most of these in one place? And that's usually a really good fit. Last but certainly not least is a general operations system. So that's usually a project management system where you can kind of organize projects, team, and tasks. there are a million, and you see advertisements for them every day, or at least I do. Maybe it's because I'm in the space, but everything from Asana, Notion, Monday, ClickUp, Trello, there's a million of them. And I find that so much of that, again, is not only based on the things that you're trying to organize, but also how your team likes to connect, or how you like your things organized. Maybe it's completely visual. Maybe you like a more, like beautiful space, or maybe you like one that's more like structured and rigid. Maybe you like one where you can really customize it, put pretty pictures. There are so many different things and different automations and integrations they have that can be relevant to your specific business, whether you're a wedding planner, fine jewelry designer, coach, consultant. You probably have different needs than each other. And so I find those three categories, looking for platforms that fit into those three categories based on what you need in your business, is probably what's best for you.
I love that because there's so much nuance to it. There's so many options. And I was curious. I'm like, I'm gonna ask her because I know when people say that to me, I'm like, I pull out the scroll. I'm like, girl, let me count the
How much
ways.
time do you
What you
have?
need?
Yeah,
How much time you got?
exactly.
And so I think that's so common that, in our industry, we'll get asked these questions, and really what it's licensed to do is open up Pandora's box and just word vomit, because there's so many options out there. We're at a point in business where there are multiple tools that can do the various tasks that you need to, but it's so important for you as the entrepreneur to understand, like, what is the priority for you? Yes, this can help you manage your projects, but are you a visual person? Do you have a team you need to collaborate with? Are you trying to consolidate resources, and having an all-in-one is better than having things that specialize? Like, there's so many things that I encourage you, and I know Molly is a huge advocate for this too, is to have a CEO day. If it's a CEO day, awesome. If it's a CEO half day, if it's a CEO hour, but at the end of the day, you need a minute to gather your thoughts and say, where is this thing going? What are we striving for? Because sometimes we spend so much time doing the business that we don't work on our business and in our business. And so it's just so essential that you slow down, guys, sometimes and just say, okay, my business deserves my attention. So let me just take a minute and let me just, what I'll do is I put on my little Pomodoro videos. So half the views on those videos are me. I play it on my YouTube channel and I say, okay, for this Pomodoro, what am I doing? I'm going to walk through every page of my website. What's out of date? What is still applicable? What am I no longer offering? And I just take little post-it notes, and every Pomodoro, I write what I think I can accomplish in 25 minutes. I post it on my screen so I can remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing. And I get 25 minutes to get it done. And the next one, another post it, another post, another post it. And if all I can do is 2 hours a week to work on my business, that still propels me forward. And so I would just encourage you, those videos are on the channel. You can use them however you want. There's a Christmas one. Every quarter I have Sam make me another one because I'm like, I'm tired of these lo-fi jams. I need something new. Give me a new mixtape. And he'll go and make it. And it's all good. That's what I'm doing. So it's not, sometimes business isn't cute, but it's functional. And so I think it's important for us to not feel like everything has to be Insta-worthy. Trust and believe, half the time we're in yoga pants or sweatpants from the waist down. Like, we're doing what we need to do to get by. And so all of these preconceived notions that you have as to what business actually looks like, remember that life is too short to create a job you hate. So if you create it for what you want, and find the people willing to pay what you need to make a living. So I would love for us to do like a rapid fire. I've got a couple questions here that I would love to hear everybody's perspective on. One, because I'm feeling a little petty and a little salty. What is one thing you are saying no to in your business? So I'm going to spotlight you, and I want gut reaction. What are you saying no to right now?
Gosh. Okay, I'm first. I would say I'm saying no to things that feel friction. That's the big word I've been thinking about a lot lately. Like, if I feel friction, I'm going to be brave enough to say no to it. And sometimes it's something really hard or scary to say no to. That's my gut reaction.
Ooh, oh, what am I saying no to? I should be saying no to doing more. My theme for last year was say yes to less, and I need to carry that over. So I'm going to be saying no to doing more.
I'm saying no to the tasks that encourage FOMO. So like things I see everyone else doing, thinking like, oh, I should be doing TikTok or I should be doing Pinterest or whatever else the things are. No to anything that I don't need to do from a place of what's best for my business and just from watching what other people are doing and thinking I should be doing those things.
And I'm going to continue saying no to overworking. I know how to do the most. We doing less. In 2024, we're doing less. So it's so tempting because I love what I do, but I'm like, but if you burn out, you can't do any of it. So that's the trick. So that is what I am saying no to. All right. So next rapid fire question is, what is the number one thing that has kept you in business?
I'm always first. I don't have time to think. Okay, I would say the number one thing that's kept me in business, honestly, it has been getting really clear on the parts of my story that have led me to my business, because they are really the things that keep me going and keep me inspired and keep me. This is why I care, is because I understand where I was, where I am now, and I want that for other people.
The one thing that has kept me in business, I would say, one, not wanting to work for someone else or be in an office situation, because that historically has always made me sick, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in every other way. But also recognizing that being a boss is being a compassionate thought leader and having confidence in that. And I want to help other women get to that. And so, yeah, thinking about how I can help someone else get to that is the main thing that keeps me doing what I do, even when I'm working too much.
I would say the number one thing that's kept me in business is the people we serve and the people that continue to sing our praises. I think a business is only as strong as the people that it serves, and being able to serve customers well and then have them share that experience, I think has always been the driver of both my businesses, everything that's kept us going.
And if I had to answer this, I would say the number one thing that's kept me in business is stop comparing myself to other people. I don't think I have it in me to do things the way other people do it. I've been that kid from day one that I'm like, I'm fitting to do something different. And so I think like when I decided to do online business and I became so aware of what everybody else was doing, it was so tempting to constantly compare and kind of go like, oh, well, what's the market doing? And, how's everyone viewing this? And I found almost like safety in being able to see what other people were doing. But I realized like that's just not helpful. And so I think like the more that I just say, girl, just lean in, just be you. It's really helped me a lot. So I hope you guys found that to be encouraging. I'm tempted to let you guys ask me a question. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to unmute y'all one at a time. And I'm going to let you, since I put you guys on the spot, I'm going to let you all put me on the spot and ask me a question. So we will start with Molly. What you got for me?
Hey, LaShonda. I would say, what would you go back and tell yourself at the very beginning? Because I think that's such a great question, and it's for others too.
Okay, I can do that. What would I say in the very beginning? All right. I would say that entrepreneurship is supposed to be fun. And I think we find so many different ways to take the fun out of it. And when we load ourselves down with all of these obligations, whether it's HR, marketing, project management, and you lose sight of the fun, it affects your customers. I think customers, if given the option, they would rather do business with a joyful, rested person than someone who's just stressed out and overwhelmed. And so I would say, it's just super important for you to find the joy, hold on to the fun. And if it's not fun, find a way. What can you do to add more fun to it? Is it that you start collaborating? Is it that you get rid of something that isn't quite working? Is it that you just change the colors of your website because you just felt like a new change? I think it's so easy for entrepreneurship to become just a slog. And so, yeah, find the joy, give yourself permission to have some fun. And I think it'll help everybody in the process.
I love it.
What do you think?
So true. I think that's fantastic. I agree.
Okay. All right, Jasmine, I'm going to let you ask me
Okay.
whatever you want.
If you could no longer do everything that you're doing, what would you do?
Like none of what I'm doing now? Oh, that's nice. Okay. So friends. Okay. I feel like very vulnerable. Okay, now I'm in you guys' spot. I get it now. If I was not being a tech educator, I would probably be on a guitar leading worship music at a conference, round yonder campfire, something to that regard. My background's theater. I absolutely love singing. My hobby right now is I actually sing soprano with a community orchestra. And it's hysterical because it's almost like so chill, it's stressful. Harold is the choir director. Shout out to Harold. And I remember I was headed to practice one night. I think it was like dress rehearsal. And Harold texted me and he was like, "What part are you singing again?" And I'm like, "Oh, we should know that. We should definitely know that the day before the show." And it all came together and it was amazing. But you see like all these elderly folks and high school students literally jamming out, and it's to orchestrations and it's beautiful. And then every now and again, they let the singers join in. So it's not so monotonous. And it's a jam, you know. I genuinely love to sing and I love to obviously share my joy for the Lord. And so like if I didn't have to be tethered to this computer, if I just became independently wealthy and didn't need none of y'all, then that's what I'd be doing. Strumming a guitar. I also don't know how to play the guitar, but I feel like that's on brand. So I should lead with that. I don't know how to play that. I can sing, but I can't play nothing. So that's what I would do. That is what I would be doing. I was like, let me preface this by saying, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn.
I love it.
Thank you for that question. I love that. Okay. Kate, your turn. What is your question for me?
I feel like there's been this theme of like fun and joy. So what are you most excited about or having the most fun in your business right now?
Well, obviously this is fun. I feel like I have like a little TV show, so that's fun. Honestly, my community is like, I feel like, okay, so I call them the Bootstrap Fam. And I've literally been talking to a couple folks because I'm like, no, seriously, we need like a family reunion. I need t-shirts. I need cha-cha slide. I need a hot barbecue, an uncle in his high socks. Like they feel like my cousins for real. We celebrate together. We pray for each other. We meet new brands together. Like I didn't realize how much I needed community as a YouTuber. But at my core, I'm a community builder. And so when you put me in front of a camera and I'm talking to myself, and sure, I see comments, but that's all I'm getting out of it. It just felt incomplete. And so I just decided, I'm like, okay, people keep asking me how to do YouTube. Let me start a YouTube membership and just see what happens. And it was crazy. I was like, if I can get 25 people in 25 days, that'd be really cool. And I got 25 people in a week and I freaked out because I was like, I need systems. I need the systems for the people. And so I gave more hours to my virtual assistant, and that has led to building an app that's going to launch this summer. And I'm just like, wow, all of this happened because I realized how much I just needed people. And so, yeah, it's so fun. Our calls are ridiculous. I love it. Literally, it's just like a flood of comments coming in, and it's just so sweet just to see everybody supporting each other and cheering each other on. So I'm just so excited for us to have an app, for us to have a place where they can talk to each other outside of calls, because it's going to be a madhouse. But I love my fam and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't. So that's my answer to that.
Love it.
All right, my friends. So let me check over. Oh, look at that. Shelby said, yes, we want a Bootstrap fam reunion. I told y'all. I already told y'all. Not the uncle in the hot socks. Yes, Brittany. I love that you guys are watching over on LinkedIn. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I think when you find your people, everything changes. And so if I had to give, one piece of advice to you all when it comes to running a small business is find your people. We can obviously be your people. And I would encourage you to check out the description on this video, check out the LinkedIn event on LinkedIn, and stay connected with us because I just want to learn from all of you at all times. And I know that's not possible, but I'll just keep sliding in your DMs and putting in requests because it's just so good. It's so good to have people that own their zone of genius and can help you out. So I do see one question I want to land with before I give us a quick outro. And this one is for Jay. You should ask, what would you do if you couldn't do this question in the Boss Squad? So is that something that could be coming up for your group? Oh, I think you're muted, Jasmine. Up there we go.
Brittany, girl, I'm gonna get you. She's one of my wonderful community members. I love you, girl, but hello. What would I do if I couldn't do this? I would stop. Honestly, I'm not joking you. I've been on this creator career train for over 20 some years, and my boyfriend will tell you he's ready for me to stop. So I probably would. I would be like that auntie with the high socks in the rocking chair, in the neighborhood go, yeah, girl, this is what you could have been doing, or this is what I did. And then I would be that. So yes, I would stop, but maybe just be available to people who needed me on a very lower basis than what I'm currently doing.
I love that. And let's normalize that entrepreneurs can retire too. We too can be done. We too can be done. So I want to add Taylor up really quick before we land the plane. And Taylor, you do so many things too. I know you were in the behind the scenes. Taylor is a genius. Okay. I want you guys to understand that Enji is basically Taylor's brain and software. So I wanted you on screen so I could brag about you before I play the ad. And friends, save your coins. Go to LaShondaBrown.com/Enji so that you can try this incredible tool. And so you too can be organized and have more of your life back. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. I wanted to see your faces while I said this, because you all have made such a difference in my business and you have really set my Friday off right. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving your time. Thank you, Taylor, for being here at the crack of dawn so that I can still have my day. So friends, I'm going to send us out with a very quick ad about Enji. Again, if you like this video, please make sure that you like it so it is seen by more folks. I hope you continue celebrating National Small Business Week in a way that makes sense for you. And it's never too late to shop small. So y'all could be shopping small in June, July, August. We don't need to wait till November. Small businesses always need your support. So find a small business, grab a cup of coffee, grab a gift for your mom for Mother's Day, but find ways that you can shop small. So friends, thank you again for joining me live. And until next time, ta-ta for now.
This live stream is sponsored by Enji. With too many tasks, too little time, and no idea where to begin, marketing your small business often feels like guessing at every turn or forgetting to do it altogether. Enji is a marketing software that empowers small business owners who have to do their own marketing but are not marketing experts. This platform helps you stay organized and understand how all parts of your marketing strategy work together. It was created by a small business marketing consultant to help marketing go from crazy daunting to totally doable. Stop overthinking, wave goodbye to guesswork, and start saving time by leveraging this incredible tool. To start your free trial, visit LaShondaBrown.com/Enji to to make marketing your business more manageable today.